How would you feel to be in a room filled with entrepreneurs just like you? Entrepreneurs Connect is coming up November 30th this year, and we're going to be having a gathering of entrepreneurs across different industries. You don't want to miss it. I'm Miss Pat Idisi, and with me here is
Mr. Jonathan Okanlawon.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Jonathan, for honoring the request to have you on this show today. I must say that it's a big milestone for us at Entrepreneurs Connect to have you volunteer to speak at Entrepreneurs Connect events. Mr. Jonathan has over 2 decades of experience as an entrepreneur doing business, navigating the marketplace of Nigeria and even across the borders of Nigeria. And I know that his wealth of knowledge is something that you want to tap from at the event. All right, so we have a few questions that we're going to be asking him. I'm sure by the time we're done with those questions, you would have met him. Your mind would have been awakened to the experience that we're going to feel at the event. So welcome once again.
Thank you
for
Thank you very much.
being here.
Thank you.
All right, so basically, let me start with getting a background of your motivation that started with you on this journey as an entrepreneur. So what sparked your passion for entrepreneurship?
Okay, very good question. Going down memory lane over 20 years, I didn't set out to be an entrepreneur.
Okay, beautiful.
Entrepreneur happened to me.
Wow, I love that.
When I was in school, university, I studied at the University of Lagos.
Wow, nice.
To all those who are
Unilag alumni, I'm also an alumni.
Greatest Acokites.
Great.
I enjoyed my time there, and I studied business administration. I wanted to study economics, but the year I jammed me. So
wow.
I had to, those years, the almighty jam. So I had to go for business administration, and I enjoyed it. And when I got to around my 3rd year, I started thinking about what I was going to do. I wanted to work. I've always loved the oil and gas sector. I've always loved it, maybe because my mom worked there for many years. So I've always loved it, and I felt I was going to work for Chevron. So that was my dream job, to work for Chevron. And but it so happened that when I got to from my year 3 going to my year 4, sometime in my year 4, there was an opportunity that came up with a few friends of ours. We started looking at the role. Then those days, technology was just the early days of technology, the days of blogging. Blogging was still very new then in Nigeria. So a few friends of ours, first of all, we had looked at, okay, what things can we do? Because we knew that for majority of people, there were no jobs out there. So you need to start thinking of what are you going to do. And that's why many times it's good to be around people who think alike. So we started having informal discussions somewhere in Unilag there.
Wow.
Somewhere like in the evenings. We used to meet around like 4 p.m. We'll study books like, I think the first book that we read was Richest Man in Babylon.
Beautiful.
For those who have read it. So we'll come and discuss it for like an hour. Young boys will fight.
Wow.
We'll fight. We will say, no, this is what I got. This is what I got. But those were days of humble beginnings. And then when I graduated, of course, I graduated, and then I was thinking, okay, I went for my national service. I did 1 year of national service, and it was, I was still trying to find my feet, though during the service years, things started getting a bit more serious.
Yeah.
We got into the blogging. Okay, so we went there blogging, and we brought out then the early days, I'm talking about early 2006. Yeah, we brought out a blog site called Unilag Faces.
Wow.
And it was very novel. People were like, what's going on? And then we had various categories then. I remember then a day in the life of, and different things, current affairs and different things. It was quite interesting. Everybody wanted to go to Unilag Faces to go and see what is the blog of the day. and different things. And the months rolled by. Of course, as you are going, things begin to happen very fast. We went for an event sometime in May at the Muson Center there. I can't, yeah. So we went there, and while at the event, we came in contact with one of the leading banks in Nigeria, and they said they would like to partner with us. Quite, I mean, imagine you were just in your infancy, and one of the leading banks was, because this was very, very new then in Nigeria. Nobody was talking about it. So we started on that journey, and it's been quite interesting. When I look back, sometimes I laugh. I just wonder. And out of that partnership blossomed an organization, which then we had to set up an office, and we had an office. I mean, it was quite exciting times. Your first steps in running a business, running an organization. Of course, running a business comes with its challenges, and of course comes with so many challenges we face, especially in a country like Nigeria. And we had our fair share of challenges, but I can tell you that looking back over those years, I believe that many things, many challenges that we faced, what they did were helped us to shape our mindset into that what is worth doing is worth doing poorly until you get it right.
Wow, I love that.
So sometimes you make mistakes. Definitely a lot of mistakes were made, but those are things that have shaped us. And looking back over the years, we can say that it's been quite an interesting journey. And like they say, success is not a destination. Success is a journey. And in that journey, every day I keep learning. Every day, even up till now, I learn from different people. So it's been quite interesting. I think that it's been quite nice going down memory lane.
we forced you to go down memory lane.
Yes, it is.
Thank you so much for having us again.
Yes.
I just want to refresh the mind of our audience that we are saying what sparked his passion for entrepreneurship. And I don't know if you can, like in a line, in a sentence, what would you say sparked your that drive?
Well, the entrepreneurship is very dynamic. It's you don't know what's going to happen next. It's if you like, maybe you have a job, you come, it's predictable. Okay, fine. At the end of today, I have to do this. I have to move this file here. After the end of the month, 30 days make one pay. I get my salary for the month. But entrepreneurship is dynamic. Anything can happen. 28 days into the month, you are looking, no business has come in, you need to pay your staff salary, the pressure is on, you are in the pressure cooker, you are like, how am I going to pay my staff for this month?
Yeah.
And then on the 29th day, a client someone that has wanted to do business for the past 6 months just shows up, or maybe a client that's owing you just pays, and then somehow, so entrepreneurship is it's like, I see entrepreneurship like it's a roller coaster. Roller coaster sometimes up, sometimes down. But it's the thing about entrepreneurship is enjoying the process, because it's a process that shapes you into what. And if you look at any successful person out there, they will tell you that not every day they were up on the mountain. There were some days they were down in the valley. There was a time that Apple was having some serious challenges, and who bailed them out? One of their competitors.
Wow.
Microsoft. And they were both competitors. So it just shows you that it's entrepreneurship. So I would just say that it's been the journey, and like I said, the journey, it never ends. Of course, you are looking at every day when you can look back and say, this is where I was, this is where I am. What I can say over the years that I've built strength of character, I've built resilience. Entrepreneurship teaches you resilience. if you don't want to be resilient, don't go near entrepreneurship.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful. So from your story, we can see that you have evolved over the years. You have gone through different experiences, and even from those your experiences, you have navigated different other businesses.
Yes.
I'm sure.
Yes.
So if you don't mind, if you can also share with us what you are currently doing.
All right. So in your very good question you've asked, Nigeria, so many businesses that because Nigeria is a land of opportunity, so you along the way you come across various businesses. I started out in ICT, for IT, information technology, and then along the road, the journey, I went into consulting. I went doing trainings for various organizations, the oil and gas, financial sector. Also, I went into the agri sector, and that's food, Then also, I'm also into renewable energy. So, and also I'm back now in tech also. So it's quite interesting because each leg of the journey takes you through various businesses, and along the road, each of the businesses I've called are various companies. So I run about 4 to 5 companies.
Okay, and they are all functional up to date.
They are all functional up to date. Each and every one of them is functional.
See, that is really beautiful, and that's one challenge that many entrepreneurs face. I've got a lot of questions from people, young people starting up businesses, and even older ones who are in business, and they're because there's this message of focus that you need to focus on one thing. But let me tell you, because of the way Nigeria is, it's not even Nigeria, everywhere. It's not easy to do one thing, because why? I always tell people when people ask me that question that am I making a mistake doing lots of businesses, exploring different avenues? And me, I always like to tell them that, and I'm sure from your experience you can say that too, that yes. No, because your bills are not coming from one source, right? You have bills from different sources. If you want to face those bills with one source of income, I'm sorry, you would not survive. So as an entrepreneur who is innovative and knows that you have to be cash flow is very important. So yes, you have your passion maybe for IT at the beginning, but when IT was not working, you begin to explore other sources of income. And I love the fact that at the end you still came back to fuel IT, which was your initial area of interest. So you see, as an entrepreneur, there's no one size fits all. There's no one way into the marketplace. You must be creative. It's not wrong for you to explore different markets or different opportunities, because like we said, Nigeria, as you mentioned, is a land full of opportunities. And if you are an entrepreneur, you will actually be seeing them like seconds by seconds. And an entrepreneur always goes after opportunities.
Exactly.
So you are not doing the wrong thing if you are doing. Thank you so much for bringing that out.
No problem.
All right, so I will just go straight to the next question.
Yes.
And that would be, how did your upbringing and family influence your business mindset?
My upbringing, I thank God for my parents and people around me. I grew up in a very traditional home. My dad worked with University of Lagos, Luth, a professor of anatomy. My mom worked in the oil and gas sector, spent over 35 years with NNPC. Wow. So being the firstborn, of course, I knew I was not going to study medicine. And I told my dad that I'm not going to study medicine when I was writing my JAM many years ago. And said, no problem. I said, I just felt medicine was boring. I said the medicine was boring and that there was no money there.
Wow.
So long, ages ago. So I told him I wanted to go and read economics. So he said, fine. And my parents were very fine. They were, one thing that's why they didn't have this thing of, you must do this. So whatever your choice, Of course, my immediate younger brother went to study medicine. He's a medical doctor. My other brother is a lawyer. My youngest, my sibling, my sister is a medical doctor. She's studying to be a doctor. So we have two doctors in the home.
That's beautiful.
So but it's quite interesting because, like I said, I didn't think, if you asked me 25 years ago, if you asked me 25 years ago, I never thought about entrepreneurship. But I mean, along the way, I remember when in the early days it looked like, what am I doing? You look like, are you okay? Because I could have easily gotten a job in the any company I wanted to, based on the influence and connections. I got offers, so many offers, so many. Sometimes I used to ask myself, was I crazy? Like to say, no, I'm not going. I want to focus on this. Because entrepreneurship, there's a few years ago, maybe like 15 years ago or so, I penned down a book. I called it The Lonely Road. I didn't know where that book is. The Lonely Road of Entrepreneurship. I think I put the book on Amazon. I can't remember. Because I was just trying to think of what entrepreneurship to me is a lonely road. Yeah. Because number one is the unknown.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going to happen. It's not like as if it's promised that, okay, there's this big project you're going to get. You're just on an idea that, I hope this thing will work. What if it doesn't work? And then you run out and you say, it will work, especially in a very dynamic and challenging country like Nigeria, where you want to operate from, where you have things like somersaulting government policies, all manner of things. You have the power issues, you have a lot of things. So you want to do entrepreneurship. So, but it's over the years I've gotten support, and I want to say that it's been quite interesting. My folks, parents, my siblings, very, very understanding of my journey. And like I said, success is a journey. When I look back, I know that I wouldn't have been able to push through the tough times without the support I got. Of course, some time ago, a few years ago, I got married. Thank God I have two boys today.
Wow, congratulations.
My firstborn is 7, secondborn is 4, and the support from my wife, my home, and to see that this journey is going on. So there's no way, if I'm going to write my success story, I can't do it without the support I get from my family, my friends, my business associates, and all that. And but I mean, let me tell you, entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart. If you don't, like I said, if you don't have the resilience, don't go near it. But it is very rewarding at the end of the day.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Like, it's so true. I can relate.
Yeah.
I can relate. And I like the fact that you said you studied economics, like it was in your dream. You didn't even know it. You were thinking you wanted to go and you wanted to work in the oil sector. Yeah. You wanted to work in Chevron, yeah. But no, your destiny was for entrepreneurship. Yeah. So it played out, in the end.
Yes.
So, but one thing that we should take away from this is that support the entrepreneurs around you, especially if you have somebody in your family who is an entrepreneur. Support them, because your support goes a long way. The support he had from his family, his parents, his wife, and all the people around him added to making him the successful entrepreneur that we can talk with today. So let's support the entrepreneurs around us. Yes. Don't bash them. Don't say, what dream, what vision.
Yes, support them.
Support them.
Exactly.
All right. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just the next question we have here is that what problem do you aim to solve with your business?
Very, very, very good question. What problem do I aim to solve? For my different businesses, I like the way you put it. What problem do I aim to solve? So, for my agricultural business, as human beings, there's one thing we do: we eat every day. Yeah. So you are solving the problem of making sure that providing people with quality food products and affordable and nutritious for the Rubesco energy, which is the renewable energy, knowing that we have a power situation in Nigeria, and we know it's those who have the means get generator, but we all know the price of diesel.
Yeah.
We all know the price of fuel. So the healthy alternative is to go through the renewable energy, solar panels, inverters. So we are solving the power problem through an affordable way whereby people can have constant light, constant power, because power is very important to the growth of a nation, and you need that. On the consulting side, my consulting company, Global Crop, we know there are a lot of challenges that individuals, companies face in terms of their training needs, strategic sessions. People look at their various business processes. They don't know how they're going to go about it. There's also a competency management framework gap in many industries. And looking at the role that technology is playing today, how do companies prepare for the future? Many people don't know what to do. So we are coming there telling people, showing them a blueprint that this is what you need to do, because whether you like it or not, you cannot be like an ostrich, put your head in the sand. Technology has come to stay. And right now we're in the era of AI. AI is technology on steroids.
Wow.
You cannot do without it. So what are you going to do as an organization? Where do you see your organization in the next 10, 15 years? Are you going to be as relevant as you are now, looking at how technology is changing on a daily basis? So that's where we come in as consultants. And also on the tech side, also coming in whereby showing people training, like people want to do, okay, I want to do tech, but where do I start from? So you come in on the mentorship side, because even if you're going to have a business in tech, it's still a business. So there are still some fundamental principles that you must learn to grow your tech business. Corporate governance issues. It's not just getting funding from investors. Somebody gets $10 million today and doesn't know how to manage it. You blow it. Tomorrow you are back to square zero. So, but we need to know, how do I manage this money? You need to have, what's your financial strategy? What's your funding strategy? What's the blueprint? What's the roadmap for the next 5 years? So that's where we come in as consultants. So each of the various companies that I'm involved in have various problems that we are solving. And it's quite exciting. Like I said, entrepreneurship is quite exciting. It doesn't mean that there will still not be challenges, but challenges are stepping stones to greater height. Anytime you see a challenge, just know that it is a stepping stone to the other side of the challenge is greater success. So
wow, beautiful. I really love that. This is so insightful. And I love that the question says problem. As entrepreneurs, we are entrepreneurs, our job is to solve problems.
Yes.
And I love the way you could identify the problem you're solving for at different levels of your business.
Yes.
As an entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur, you must know what problem you are solving. If not, you've not even started. I know there are some of us who don't know what problem we're solving, and we're in the market. That's why we need to attend Entrepreneurs Connect, because that's where we are coming in to brainstorm. We are meeting with robust minds like Mr. Jonathan, sharing experiences, showing you how to draw the roadmap for your business, having a blueprint for your business. You don't want to miss Entrepreneurs Connect. Yes. I'm telling you. Okay, we'll just head on to our next question, which says, what's the most significant obstacle? I know you must have mentioned it in the way, but let's just put it out again. And how have you overcome it? How did you overcome it? An obstacle you faced as an entrepreneur?
There are so many obstacles. Wow, there are so many obstacles I've faced in my journey. Most significant. That's it. Where do I start from? Well, as an entrepreneur, I remember one time we had a business we wanted to do for a client, and that business, we had the call off letter. We didn't have a clue what we were going to do. We thought and thought, how do we raise funds? And it was huge funds to kick off this business. So I reached out to a friend of a friend of a friend. I said, okay, can we raise money The guy said, okay, well, I have this money in USD. Now, this was a contract we got in Naira. And somebody, yeah, they had in USD. Now, what we are going to pay back. Now, understand this. You are getting, somebody has USD wants to give you.
Yeah.
You get a contract denominated in Naira. And it's saying when you are paying back, you paying back in USD. Remember, a country like Nigeria, the exchange rate is not in your favor. So what happens? Let's say you get $10. Let's say you get a credit of $10 and the exchange rate goes up times 10. You're still going to pay back that money. So it was a risk that we had to take. Well, ask me, maybe with what I know now, maybe I wouldn't have done that, but we were desperate. We took the dollars. I remember we took the dollars, changed it to Naira, we made the project. Of course, the exchange rates skyrocketed, but you still have to pay back. So those are lessons that we've learned in business. There are some times we've taken some. I remember there was another contract we got, and we didn't have the complete money. We needed about a few millions to run the contract. And I remember the week of that, when they were going to start, I was talking with my partner, and I said, we don't have the funds. What do we do? He said, let's just go. So I remember we were there at the place, at the venue, and we're thinking, God, my mind was racing. How do we do it? I talked to my contact, can we raise funds? I think it was like on the second or third day. That's when we got the full funds. The client didn't even know that we didn't have the complete funds to run that project. But the money we needed came during. So when I think about it, that the risk we've taken, I mean, of course, entrepreneurship has to do with a lot of risk. And of course, I've taken some crazy risk. But as you grow, you begin to now understand how, of course, that many times, of course, not just taking risk, but you take calculated risk. Take risk that will not hurt the business. Of course, also sometimes you may just have to just step out on a limb and know that, well, and I don't want to put this out there. Many times, for those of you who are Christians, I trust God. I pray, and I tell God, this is what I want to do. And when you pray, you trust God, just make a move. You may not see what's the next step, but just taking a step by faith. Beautiful. By taking a step by faith, I know that, okay, God, I don't know tomorrow, but I know you hold tomorrow. And you take a step by faith, and you just find that things begin to work in your favor. And there are so many things that look like it wasn't going to work. They have even had a lot of disappointments. I mean, in entrepreneurship, it wasn't all. There'll be some disappointments you face. Not every business that you set out to do that will be successful, but that's where you have to have strength of character. There will be things you start, you invest money. It's not all businesses that have been rosy. These 4 or 5 businesses I run today, some of the businesses I started and no more. But it's all part of the journey, part of the learning, part of the character that's been built over the years. And I said, anything you want to do, trust God. You pray and you make your move. The Bible said that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So just step out by faith, and providence will take a hold in what you are doing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I love the God part, and I also want to mention that part where your other partner, one of your partners, just wanted to pull out at the end, in the middle of the deal. But you see, that God factor is very important, and that's one thing that we are very audacious about in Entrepreneurs Connect, and we are bringing something that is even different from regular events. So apart from, after we have done all the learnings at the event on that day, later in the evening, we're going to sit down and just do like a thanksgiving to God for how far He has brought us in our businesses as entrepreneurs. So we're having like a concert, and it's a God-centered kind of concert. On that event too, we'll be giving some awards and celebrating our successes, awarding entrepreneurs for your good work. You have been doing business, you've done well. Celebrate yourself, because if you don't blow your trumpet, nobody's going to sound it for you. So I love the God part of business. God is involved in our businesses, and He wants us to be intentional about Him. I saw a post one time that said business is spiritual. It's not. You have to involve God. If you don't involve God in your business, you are playing games. So thank you so much. All right. So thank you so much for all the insights you shared throughout this session. It has really been
Thank you.
insightful, I can say. What skills or knowledge do you wish you had when you started out?
What skills or knowledge? I would say the ability to be a successful entrepreneur. I mean, from hindsight, it's more of the ability to build relationships.
Wow.
Because skill, anybody can go and acquire a skill, but the building relationship is something which is not common. Many people don't value the relationships that they have, whether it's their business associates, whether it's people don't, it's something that's very scarce. So it's, I would say, um, one skill from day one, if I had the ability to rewrite the hands of time, the ability to build meaningful relationships. Very important. Relationships are very key and very important if you want to be successful as an entrepreneur.
Beautiful. That's something that I know I wouldn't have thought of that. Like many of us, we have contacts. We have people around us right now that we are overlooking, and you don't know if that relationship, if you handle it well, would pay you off in the future. So be very mindful of the people around you.
Exactly.
Treat them well.
Exactly.
What's the most important lesson you have learned about leadership? I know that leadership is an integral part of entrepreneurship.
The most important lesson I've learned about leadership is a quote from John Maxwell. Everything rises and falls on leadership. As a leader, you have a responsibility
Beautiful.
to the people that you are leading. And that when you are aware of that responsibility, it shapes the way you handle people. There's scarcity of leaders. Great leaders are rare. And as a leader, the model which I believe that is of leadership is the servant leadership model. As a leader, you must also be a servant to all. Not servant in terms of a footmat, but as a leader, you are called to serve. So that is the most important lesson in leadership. Leaders are called to serve. Very, very important. If people would only imbibe to that, I believe the things we see around us will be lots better. But there's a scarcity of leaders that we see. What we have today is rulers, but we don't have leaders.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much. And I can attest to that you are an exemplary leader. I know that even reaching out to you with the level of the level of experience, wealth of knowledge that you have, and when we reached out to you from Entrepreneurs Connect, and I saw that humility in which you used in answering us, the feedback you gave, even when we were not even forthcoming or following up with you, you still reached out and said, okay, I've looked at my schedule, I'll be able to honor you to be at your event to speak.
Thank
Someone
you.
of your caliber who has spoken at the Art of Technology. I know that was a really big event at
Yeah.
Landmark Event
Yeah.
Center. You were
Yeah.
there. You've spoken there, and many other. And you've managed business executives in big companies, that are shaking the industry in Nigeria. And you have the humility to say that you would attend Entrepreneurs Connect, which is like our first event. Many people don't want to attend first time events. So I'll just say that shows what you just said. Leaders are called to serve.
Yeah.
And this is service.
Yes.
The service to the people. And I'll just want to say to our audience that you don't want to miss Entrepreneurs Connect, because you are getting real wealth of knowledge from industry experts, and don't take it for granted by thinking that this is a small event, because the caliber of people who are bringing, like Mr. Jonathan, you don't want to miss it. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you very much.
All right, so next we're looking at the future. The future is very important. I don't if you can just help us with some of your visions for the future. I know you are very futuristic. In fact, you are one of the business leaders that always tell business executives that, please have a plan for the next 5 years, for the next 10 years. So I know that this is not a new question for you, but I know that it's something that it will be really good to hear from you. What are your future plans? How do you plan to scale, expand your business, impact Nigeria and the world?
Yeah, okay, thank you very much. Very good question. Vision of the future. He said, without a vision, people perish. Vision is very important. So some of our plans for the future is one, I like the word you use in impact, because it's not just about making money, but about impact. What impact? All right, so it's all about impact. I mean, beyond making money, what we are looking at is that all our organizations will become household names, not just in Nigeria, in Africa, but across the world, while also providing good quality service to all our clients, not just, and also making sure that all our product or service offerings are world-class standard. We are also looking at also making sure that we impact also those around us. We have initiatives whereby we can send those who are less privileged to have a chance at life, setting up foundations whereby people can go to school. Also, people can have food, clothing, and shelter. Those are things that we are also looking at. Also, looking at also the possibilities of also having businesses, setting up more businesses. A son like Richard Branson has about 400 businesses. So
wow.
We with about 4 or 5, we're just scratching the surface. And there are so many things we can do, even for entrepreneurs. Seeing that entrepreneurs need guidance, need mentorship. We have a structured mentorship program for entrepreneurs, whereby they will go through our program, and when they finish, they would also be granted with funds to kick off their businesses, because many times a challenge that many entrepreneurs face is funds to kick off the business. So those are just some of the things we are looking at for the future. The future is quite exciting. We also see the role that technology is playing. A major role is taking center stage. And we're also going to look at how entrepreneurs can also key into the opportunities that technology affords. Looking at this era of AI, artificial intelligence has come to stay, and the world is moving at a very rapid speed, and everyone needs to get on the AI train. And so a lot is happening, a lot will happen, and we know that we are going to be there for the long haul, giving value to everyone. Thank you.
That was massive. That was massive. That's the word. With all that you have for the future, I'll just say it's a massive vision. And I know that you're going to get it done.
Thank you.
Because
Yes.
you are a go-getter.
Thank you.
And you will. Thank you so much. Now I want to just look at a little bit of your personal story.
Okay.
I know all your entrepreneurship, all the while you've been telling us is personal, but this is even more personal. Like just in a few words, what would you say entrepreneurship has impacted your life?
Entrepreneurship has impacted my life in so many ways, in the sense that it has made me to look at life from a broad perspective. It has made me to value how to build bridges, how to build relationships. It has made me to value the work ethic it takes to make money. Entrepreneurship has also made me to understand the meaning of resilience, perseverance, and also entrepreneurship has also enabled me to be able to handle disappointments. It's quite an interesting, it has been quite an interesting journey. So, I mean, all these things, I wouldn't have learned them if I wasn't, I believe, if I wasn't an entrepreneur. And it's quite interesting, and we are still learning every day to see that it's quite an interesting journey. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So many lessons that entrepreneurship has taught you. You mentioned it, that they should be ready to give up some things.
Exactly.
What sacrifices have you made for your business? Because I won't say it's single, for your various businesses.
Okay.
What sacrifices have you made for your businesses?
Okay, sacrifices. This delayed gratification. Many people want to plant today and reap yesterday. You have to delay gratification. Another thing is that you have to be disciplined. You plant, there's a time of sowing, there's a time of reaping. You cannot afford to eat your seed today. You plant your seed, and when the time comes, you eat your bread. You don't plant your bread, you eat the bread, but you plant the seed, because the seed is what multiplies. So many people, they get maybe little capital and they want to blow everything today. It's not a wise way to go. Or maybe you make some little change, little money, and you want to blow it on the nicer, the luxuries or the nicer things of life. It's not a wise way to go. Always practice the principle of delayed gratification. The time will come whereby you will be able to afford the things that you want 100 times over. But entrepreneurship affords you that, because how will your business grow? You need to plant your seed. Your seed grows, you reinvest, you plant the seed, because you are looking for a bountiful harvest in the future.
Beautiful. So you must learn to delay gratifications. Thank you so much. And one important question that everybody has been talking about is work-life balance. How do you maintain work-life balance as an entrepreneur?
Well, I was at an event a few days ago, and I was telling some of the panelists that work-life balance gives the illusion that you are trying to chase after various things and you're not able to balance it. And if you look at in recent years, people have come to realize that, is there anything like work-life balance? Work-life balance is actually a myth. Rather, what we should be looking at is work-life integration. And that resonates with me, because you have only one life. Your work life, your school life, your personal life. So, and you can be a success in every area of your life.
Wow.
The Bible says that I want you to prosper, even as your soul prospers. So you can be a success in your home, you can be a success on the job, you can be a success in your business, you can be a success at church, you can be a success at play. You have it within you to be a resounding success in every facet of your life. So I would say that rather, let's look at work-life integration. Let's see how we can integrate our working life and our other aspect of our life and strive to be successful in every area of the life. If you follow the work-life balance path, you will struggle. But once you look at it that it is one life you have, and God has given you this one life to be successful.
Beautiful. Wow, that's something really new for me. Work-life integration. Let's look more of integrating our work and our personal life together rather than thinking of how to balance both. We just be on the one side, either you're on one side of the balance or on the other side of the balance.
Yes,
Beautiful.
yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, I think we're getting closer to the end now. I just say I have a very few questions that are kind of fun questions. If you could have dinner with any entrepreneur in the past, who would you want to?
Steve Jobs.
Oh, wow, wow! That shows your level of what I can see what you're aiming at.
Steve Jobs.
How about if you have the opportunity to be in the room with an entrepreneur of present, who would you want to sit with?
There are quite a lot of people I want to sit with. Present, I want to sit in the room with Vuzi Timbukwayo.
Oh wow, beautiful. Okay, I hope you see this video.
Yeah, I hope you see it.
Okay, all right. So what's the best business book you have read?
The best business book I've read, I would say two things. The best business book is the Bible.
Wow, I was put my hands together for that.
The best business book. Now, if you stretch it a bit further,
Okay.
best business book, How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Wow, beautiful. Have you read that book? Oh, you should read it. I think it also touched me when I read it one time.
Yeah.
It changed my. I think that's one of the books that made me a speaker that I am.
Oh, really?
I used to be. I had no friends. But when I read that book, I think
it is a great book.
Every entrepreneur.
You need to read that book, How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Wow, thank you so much. I can see that you are really loaded with insight. I love the part where you spoke of the Bible. The Bible is a great book.
Yes.
It's a book that has all the answers to all of life's questions.
Exactly.
And we need that book. And that's why Entrepreneurs Connect is not just like every other event that you attend, but it still brings you back to the spirituality of business and entrepreneurship. And that's why we are not going to miss that Thanksgiving party in the end, where at events usually they have concerts and it's just any kind of concert. But this the concert at the end of Entrepreneurs Connect is centered on God, so you don't want to miss it. All right. Finally, what's your favorite quote or mantra?
My favorite quote or mantra: never give up. Keep going. Eventually, it will all work out in the end.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And that will be my parting message for you guys. Never give up. Keep going, and it will all work out
in the
end. See you at Entrepreneurs Connect, November 30th, 2024. Bye for now.
Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
It was quite. Thank you for taking me down memory lane.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you very much. Thank you.